أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله الذي ليس لأوليته ابتداء ولا لأزليته انقضاء وانحصرت الأوصاف عن كنه معرفته ورضعت عظمته العقول والذي لا تواري عنه سماء ولا أرض أرضا ثم الصلاة والسلام والتحية والإكرام على سيد البطحاء سيد المرسلين والأنبياء أبي القاسم محمد المصطفى وعلى الجوهرة القدسية البتول العذراء سيدة النساء فاطمة الزهراء وعلى بعلها أمير المؤمنين وبنيها الذين أذهب الله عنهم الرجس وطهرهم تطهيرا لا سيما على بقية الله وحجته الكبرى الذي بيمنه رزق الورى وبوجوده ثبتت الأرض والسماء ولولاه لصاخت الأرض بأهلها واللعنة الدائمة على أعدائهم أجمعين من حين عداوتهم إلى قيام يوم الدين. أما بعد، فقد قال الله تبارك وتعالى في كتابه الكريم: يا أيها الناس إن وعد الله حق فلا تغرنكم الحياة الدنيا ولا يغرنكم بالله الغرور. صلوات. We are discussing in these nights the values, various values of the Holy Quran and Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam. And the previous 2 or 3 lectures we talked about the concept of madh and praise in Islam, who can be praised and who cannot be praised, and what are the rulings applying to the one who praises somebody, the madh, and the one who is praised, the mamduh. And we discussed to some extent about that concept in those lectures. And tonight is the turn for the next one, which is the concept of ghurur and deception in Islam. Our religion teaches us, let's first define the concept of ghurur. هو سكون النفس إلى ما يوافق الهوى ويميل إليه الطبع عن شبهة وخدعة من الشيطان. This is how scholars of akhlaq define the concept of ghurur. That means a person feels comfortable about doing things, behaving, believing in what is in sync with his desires and wishes, and whatever he likes to do, his taba and his nature is inclined towards doing, he feels comfortable towards doing all what he wants to do, because either A, he is in confusion, he is not sure, or B, he is deceived. Well, in both the cases he is deceived, because this, even if he has confusion, this is also ignorance about the religion, and jahl is also a deception, in the sense that he is not supposed to stay in that case. So khud'a and deception, which is from shaitan, وَهُوَ نَوْءٌ مِنَ الْجَهْلِ, and this is also a form of jahl. And فَمَنْ اعْتَقَدَ أَنَّهُ عَلَى خَيْرٍ إِمَّا فِي الْعَاجِلِ أَوْ فِي الْآجِلِ عَنْ شُبْهَةٍ فَاسِدَةٍ فَهُوَ مَغْرُورٌ. So whoever thinks that I am in khair and goodness, I'm right, and he is following his own desires, following his own wishes, following what is harmonious with his whims and wishes, this person is already a deceived case. He is already deceived by shaitan. It's a matter of time when he ends up realizing it, but he is also already maghrur, means deceived. He is already the victim of this policy exercised by shaitan, which is called ghurur. And this policy generates several other harams which are based on the asas and foundation of this policy. The Holy Quran, and the verse of Holy Quran that I recited from Surah Al-Fatir, فَلَا تَغُرَّنَّكُمُ الْحَيَاةُ الدُّنْيَا. So the life of dunya should not deceive you. And وَلَا يَغُرَّنَّكُمْ بِاللَّهِ الْغَرُورِ. So this is what the shaitan does. Shaitan deceives the human being in a way that the human ends up in this situation of deception. He feels that he is fine, but he is already deceived by the shaitan. Another verse of Holy Quran says, لا يغرنك تقلب الذين كفروا في البلاد متاع قليل ثم مأواهم جهنم وبئس المهاد. This is from Surah Al-Imran. That means when we learn in the light of these verses of Quran, these two verses from Surah Al-Imran, that when you see the kuffar coming and going, and in a kind of tafsir of scholars say, seemingly they seem to be having the upper hand, they seem to be victorious. When you see this kind of situation about kuffar, don't let this situation deceive you, because there are people who end up thinking, well, they are victorious, they have the upper hand, and they are superior. Isn't it right? This is also one of those deceptions that a person may fall into that. This is mata'un qaleel. This is a very short mata' that they are in that situation, and after that, summa ma'wahum jahannam. After that, their abode, their place is Jahannam, which is the worst. What worse place is that? What a bad place is that for a person to be. So ghurur of a person can land him into the hellfire. Now the ghurur and deception, overwhelming majority in the humankind are victimized with this trap of shaitan. This is a very widely found trap. There are several possible scenarios where a person can be maghrur and deceived. And let's turn to the hadith from Imam As-Sadiq alayhi salam, where he says, Al-maghrur fi dunya miskinun wa fil akhirati maghbun. A deceived person is miskin in this dunya. Miskin, totally broke and destitute, who has no way to do, to find out any solution. He's already stuck in his life. So this deceived person in the life of dunya is a miskin. He has no way, he finds no solution, he's stuck and broke. And in the akhirat, he is at loss. He is the one who has, who has lost. Maghboon. So, لأنه, because this person, what he did is that باع الأفضل بالأدنى, because he has sold what is most superior with what is the most lowly. What is the most lowly is obviously the dunya, and what is the most superior is akhirat. So if somebody sells the akhirat for the sake of achieving dunya, this is what it takes to become maghrur and deceived. And then ولا تعجب من نفسك فربما اختررت بمالك وصحة جسمك. Don't be overwhelmed, happy about the situation that maybe you are maghrur and deceived about your money, or about the health. Some people have very good healthy situation. They are, from the health perspective, they are doing good. So don't be deceived from that aspect. That's one of the ways how we may end up in the deception of shaitan. Or about the money, about the wealth. Money is a two-sided coin, you can say. It can be a ni'mat, it can be a niqmat. It can be a blessing of Allah, it can be a la'nat of Allah. A person can have the money based on two reasons from Allah. Either Allah is blessing him. For those who have the tazkiyatun nafs, they get more money, like Sayyidah Khadija salamallahu alayha, so they can spend on Islam more and their personal life remains the same. Or money can be a la'nat on those people who are selling their akhirat for the sake of dunya. For some people, Allah, not for all, for some people Allah gives them more money, so they get more engaged in that, away from remembrance of Allah. It can be any of the two things. So we cannot end up becoming deceived because of our money. وَرُبَّمَا اغْتَرَرْتَ بِطُولِ عُمْرِكَ وَأَوْلَادِكَ وَأَصْحَابِكَ لَعَلَّكَ تَنْجُو بِهِمْ. Maybe you are maghrur and deceived about your children. Isn't it right? Some people have ghurur and deception taking place because they have lots of followers, they have lots of companions, they have long life, they have children, big family. So this is also one of the ways where we can be deceived. ربما اغتررت بحالك وإصابتك مأمولك. You can also be maghrur and deceived because you achieved some achievement in this life of dunya, the worldly achievements. On your situation, whatever situation you are going through, you can be deceived because of that. فَظَنَنْتَ أَنَّكَ صَادِقٌ وَمُصِيبٌ. So you end up thinking that you are a sadiq person and you have an achievement. You are one who are achiever. You achieved something. وربما اغتررت بما ترى من الندم على تقصيرك في العبادة ولعل الله يعلم من قلبك بخلاف ذلك. And maybe a person can get the ghurur and deception because of the nadamat, repentance that comes in your heart after doing a sin. That repentance is always good that you have in your heart. But if you start feeling deceived because of the repentance, then now you are a good person, and you lose your, your ikhlas towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and you start feeling comfortable by losing your ikhlas. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows that there is the opposite about you, and you feel that you are fine. So this is also one of the ways how a person can become maghrur and deceived. وَرُبَّمَا افتخرت بعلمك ونسبك وأنت غافل عن مضمرات ما في غيب الله تعالى. And it's also possible that you become maghrur and deceived because of your knowledge. You learn something about Quran and Hadith and the teachings of Prophet and Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam, and your knowledge deceives you. This is also one of the common ways how some people who learn the knowledge end up in the deception. Obviously knowledge can be a deception if we don't practice the knowledge. If we learn the knowledge to teach others, or with this niyat so that I can teach others. If I learn the knowledge with the niyat so I can feel proud or takabbur or arrogant in front of the ignorant people. Or if I learn knowledge to prove that I can win a debate with the people. I can make them, I can win over them, and I can make them lose in front of me in debates. For the sake of making the people lose and making yourself win. with that intention if somebody knows knowledge, so I can overwhelm them. That's another batil intention. Or to make money. If you learn the knowledge of Quran and Alphabet with the niyat I am learning so that I can gain knowledge and I can make money out of it. These are all batil intentions which are all condemned. So learning knowledge will also be a deception from shaitan, and a person will be categorized in ilm al-akhlaq as a maghrur. Maghrur means deceived. Deceived person because he did not learn the knowledge for the sake of Allah, and thus he will never be able to practice the knowledge. So these are some of the various possible scenarios which are mentioned in Ilm al-Akhlaq, how a person can be maghrur and deceived. Now, the asbab al-ghurur, the reasons for being deceived by shaitan. Now, one of the reasons of a person becoming deceived by the sinners or the fusaq, the fasiqeen in the Muslim community get deceived by the deception of shaitan is what our scholars say, min asbab al-ghurur ظنهم أن الله تعالى كريم ورحمته واسعة ونعمته شاملة. There are people who think because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is Rahim and His ni'mat is all inclusive, isn't it right? It's wide and inclusive, and His rahmat is wasi'ah, is expanded. So because of that, they keep on doing the sins because of this dhan that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to forgive them. And some of them are deceived. Another reason for deception, the first reason for deception is dhan an Allah rahim wa kareem wa ni'matuhu shamila. That because of the rahmat of Allah, we end up in the deception of shaitan. I mean, start doing the sins and continue doing the sins. And, in one of the incidents we find Imam Rida alayhi salam found one of the Bani Hashim expressing in front of a bunch of people, expressing how high this person is and this and that. Imam Rida alayhi salam saw this person and he objected on him that your father, that means Imam al-Qadhim alayhi salam, he goes to paradise after doing all those ibadat and you enter into paradise without that. So there is no way, this is what we learn in the light of the hadith. There is no way a person can think this, but just because I belong to such a lineage, this is the second sabab of deception. Nasab of the person, lineage of the person. This is one of the ways how shaitan deceives some people, and they fall in the trap of some people because they think our parents, our fathers, my dad is a mujtahid, my dad is a great scholar, he is very salih and pious person, or he is a very big person, very big man, isn't it right? So because of that, father's good deeds has nothing to do with you. Father's good deed have no impact upon your ruhaniyat and spirituality. Isn't it right? It's not going to benefit us. It's just like if somebody says that my father has eaten food, so that's enough for me. If your father eats the food, it's not enough for you. Isn't it right? Likewise, any spiritual level that your father enjoys or your grandfather enjoys, or you belong to such a family which has great personalities in it, that is not going to prove anything for you. That doesn't allow you to feel proud and become deceived by shaitan because of that, and think that you are also okay and correct and in the salah and salih. This is something that you find in this sickness is found in some of the Sayyids and Hashimiyin who think that because they are Sayyids, So their wrong behavior is also justified, and because of their family background. There is a hadith that tells us that man bata'a bihi amaluhu lam yusri' bihi nasabuhu. Whomsoever's amal and action makes him slow, his lineage cannot take him fast. That means you cannot get elevated to any level and daraja because of your family lineage, as long as your amal and action is a lowly amal and action. So our actions elevate us and actions down us, not the family that we belong. I mean, Salman al-Farisi was not born to a Muslim family, non-Muslim, Majus. Isn't it right? He was not a Sayyid either, but he can reach to that high where Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says, Salman minna ahl al-bayt, alama Salman al-ilm al-awwal wal-ilm al-akhir, wa huwa minna ahl al-bayt. So anyone who even belongs to a kafir family can become part of Ahlul Bayt if he has that highness in the amal. So it's about the actions, not the nasab. Nasab is the second reason and sabab why a person get deceived by shaitan. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam says that al-kayyisu man dana nafsahu wa amila lima ba'da al-maut. The intelligent person is the one who abides by the deen. That means you are treating your soul with the religion. You are following the teachings of the Shar and the Sharia and the religion, and you work amala lima ba'd al-maut. He works for what is after the death. So every action we do, we make sure that what impact this action has after my death. Someone who has this perspective, he is the one who is intelligent in the eyes of Rasulullah. And then Prophet says, wal ahmaq man ittaba'a nafsahu hawahu. The stupid is the person who follows his nafs, his desire, hawahu, wa tamanna ala Allah, and he leads a life on hope. He has hope that Allah will forgive him. Isn't it right? He's not doing the actions, in other words. He just attaches hope with Allah. Allah will forgive, and that's how he keeps on doing the harams in his life. Because I hope Allah will forgive. So the policy of hope, and there is a policy of action. These are two different policies. Policy of action is the policy of a mu'min, and the policy of hope is the policy which has nothing to do with the iman of a person. So likewise, we learn that our scholars of akhlaq say that the hope and raja la yanfa'uka an al-amal is man raja shay'an talabahu wa man khafa shay'an haraba minhu. Just attaching our hope to something that Allah will forgive is not going to benefit. Only the hope is not going to benefit unless you combine the hope with the khawf of Allah. Raja and khawf are two sifat, two attributes which are simultaneously found in equal amounts in the soul of a mu'min at all times. Neither the raja is higher nor the khawf is higher. So if you were actually hoping appropriately, you should have been seeking to achieve the thing. Seeking is through the action, not just by hoping. وَمَنْ خَافَ شَيْئًا هَرَبَ مِنْهُ. When you are afraid for something, you will run away from it. So there is the sign of your raja, that you have a positive hope attached with Allah, is that you should start acting towards that thing. You should seek it, do talab. If you are not doing the talab and you say, I hope, then basically this hope is not appropriate and not positive. And if you are afraid about something, if you claim that I am afraid of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I am afraid of his adab and punishments, then you would run away from it. If you're not running away from that, then basically you are not afraid. Whenever someone is afraid from something, he always runs away from that thing to avoid it. So whoever man raja rahmatullah وهو لم يؤمن أو آمن ولم يترك المعاصي أو تركها ولم يعمل صالحا فهو مغرور جاهل. This is what our scholars of akhlaq say, that whoever attaches hope towards the rahmat of Allah but he doesn't have the iman, أو أمن, or he has the iman ولم يترك المعاصي, but Iman and Amalan Saleh are inseparable from each other. Whenever you want to find out the Iman of a person, if you want to judge the Iman of a person, look at the miqdar and magnitude of Amalan Saleh. And whenever you want to find out the miqdar and magnitude of Amalan Saleh, look at the Iman of the person. Because miqdar of both depend on each other. If I claim my iman is on that high level, but my amal is less, so my amal will prove that my iman was also less. Whatever more I was claiming was a lie. Anything that I claim more, which is not certified by the amal and saleh, is a lie. So iman and amal saleh are always found in the equal miqdar of the person. Bil iman yustadallu ala salihat. وَبِالصَّالِحَاتِ تُسْتَدَلُّ عَلَى الْإِيمَانِ, how Amir al-Mu'minin alayhi salatu wasalam had said. So if a person has the hope in the rahmat of Allah but he does not have iman, or he has the iman but he does not quit the ma'siyat and sins, or even if he quits the ma'siyat but after quitting the sin he doesn't do the amal and saleh, in all these cases, this person is categorized in ilm al-akhlaq to be maghrur and deceived. So now let's go back to the, for example, I mentioned an example in the history, and one of the best examples is that of the Khawarij. Khawarij are the people who were zahiran, they thought they were very muttaqi and pious, and this Mukhdij, one of the leaders of Khawarij was called Mukhdij, and Zussadiyah, the one who has a breast, he had a big fat grown up on his shoulder, one of his shoulders, like a breast. So that's how he was called in the history, as Zussadiyah. So Prophet was distributing the Baytul Mal. Baytul Mal, first of all, the national treasury always has to be distributed by the Imam al-Muslimin. No one has a right to distribute the Baytul Mal on his own. It's the job of the Imam al-Muslimin to distribute the Baytul Mal. So once Imam Ali alayhi salam was sent for a battle, when he comes back, he holds his army outside the city of Medina. He goes to meet Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. When he comes back, he found the army has already distributed the Baytul Mal among themselves. And Imam Ali ﷺ became upset. Obviously, this is not right. They don't have the right to do that. And then he took the money, that Baytul Mal, back from the army. When finally the whole army was taken to the city of Medina, and they filed a complaint to Rasulullah that look at how harsh the Baytul Mal belongs to us, the fighting army. But look at the harsh behavior of Ali, that something that belongs to us, at the end of the day it will come to us, but he's not ready for us to take it. What they are doing wrong is that they are dividing it on their own. It has to be distributed by the Imam al-Muslimin. Let's go by the principles. And Prophet replied that, لا تشكون عليا إن عليا لأخيش في ذات الله. That don't complain to me about Ali, because Ali is very strict and severe about the Zat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So when it comes to the Islamic principles, Imam Ali is very strict about that. He's not going to bend on the Islamic principle. So Prophet was, coming back to my point, Rasulullah was distributing according to the principles, the Baytul Mal, after a battle. And this guy was present, one of the Ru'asa of Khawarij, Mukhdij, and he said to Rasulullah, Ya Rasulullah, i'dil, do justice. This is an insult of Rasulullah. If somebody says to Rasulullah to do justice, are you teaching Rasulullah how to do justice? And Rasulullah replied back, Wayhaka, in la a'dil faman ya'dil. If I don't do justice, then who would do justice? The whole universe learns how to do justice from Rasulullah, isn't it right? So you are telling Rasulullah to do adl, as if Rasulullah does not know how to do the adl. That's the typical behavior of a maghrur and deceived person which we are discussing tonight. This typical behavior of a maghrur and deceived person. They think they are knowledgeable, they think they are pious, they think they are doing amalun salih, they think they are adil, and they are deceived by shaitan. So this Mukhdij person is the one who insulted Rasulullah by saying that. And Rasulullah had said in his hadith that Ali is going to kill Zussadiya, this guy. So the same happened after long years when Amir al-Mu'minin alayhi salam comes into power, and first the battle of Siffin took place with the Qasatin, isn't it right? And then the battle of Jamal, Nakisin, and then the time comes for the battle of Nahrawan with the Khawarij. And at that time, after the battle of Nahrawan, Imam Ali alayhi salam asked some of his people to find among the dead people to find whether Mukhdij Zussadiya is killed or not. And they went there, they couldn't find him. Imam Ali went there and he discovered that he is lying in a ditch. And Imam Ali has said in his statement, Amma shaitan al-radha faqad kafaytuhu bisa'qatin. He calls Mukhdij to be shaitan al-radha. Radha in Arabic means a ditch. Shaitan of the ditch. Why? Because in the battle what happened is that Imam Ali salam screamed. And because of his scream, this guy was so much scared, he fell down in the ditch and he got killed. So Imam Ali salam refers to him as shaitan al-radha. He says, فَقَدْ كَفَيْتُهُ بِسَعْقَةٍ. I sufficed him with one scream, one cry. One scream was enough to take care of him, in other words. سَمِعْتُ لَهَا وَجْبَةَ قَلْبِهِ وَرَجَّةَ صَدْرِهِ. I heard the beating of his heart and the shaking of his chest. So after this battle ended and Imam Ali salam finally himself went there next to the ditch where he fell down and died, that's where Imam Ali salam came off the ditch and on the side and he did the sajda of shukr. This is obviously the hadith of Rasulullah has always will come true. Prophet has prophesied that Ali is going to kill him, and this happened. Imam Ali salam did the sajda of shukr upon that, and that's where he said when he ride the animal and markab that he was riding, that's where he said, لَقَدْ صَرَعَكُمْ مَنْ غَرَّكُمْ. This is what we are discussing tonight, ghurur, the concept of ghurur and getting deceived by shaitan. So Imam Ali at that occasion he mentioned, لَقَدْ صَرَعَكُمْ مَنْ غَرَّكُمْ. That means that one who has deceived you has defeated you. Somebody asked, who has deceived them? And Imam Ali replied, shaitan and the evil desires. So the evil desires and shaitan are leading have been leading these Khawarij to end up into this behavior. Although they were doing all these madahir of Islam, apparently nice looking things of Islam, salat and saum, salatul layl, having beard, all those things, madahir, all the apparently nice looking things that you look at a person, you will think he's so nice. All those madahir and alaim of Islam were found there, but they're all maghrur and deceived. So, whereas when you come to Imam Ali alayhi salam's side, he cares about the divine principles. His life is a principled life with obeying the principles of the Sharia and upholding the principles of the Sharia. So he said, Wallahi ma Muawiyah bi'adha minni. I swear to Allah, Muawiyah is not more smarter than me or more cunning. وَلَكِنَّهُ يَغْدِرُ وَيَفْجُرُ. But he performs the ghadr and fujur. وَلَوْلَا كَرَاهِيَةُ الْغَدْرِ لَكُنْتُ مِنْ أَدْهَى النَّاسِ. In another hadith says, لَوْلَا أَنَّ الْمَكْرَ وَالْخَدِيعَ فِي النَّارِ لَكُنْتُ أَمْكَرَ النَّاسِ. If deception and makr was not in the hellfire, I would have been the most cunning of the people. So it's not about that you can just do your cunningness and you think you can run away with it because you are cunning and you can take care of some of the worldly achievements and gains and money. So you think you are successful? This is the sign of the maghrur and deceived person, because this is how shaitan deceives us. A successful person who performs his faridah towards Allah, even though you may end up losing some of the achievements of this dunya. Isn't it right? Like Imam Ali alayhi salam did not achieve the government of Syria. So what? Muawiyah took the government of Syria. Imam Ali alayhi salam didn't have the control of Syria. But he still did not approve the government of Muawiyah, did not make him his own wali or supported his rebellion at any cost. And when it comes to himself, he says, Wallahi ma astaghfalu bil makida. I swear to Allah, I am never taken away by the deception. Imam Ali alayhi salam is never taken away by the deception. No one can outplan Imam Ali alayhi salam. You can never make a plan where you can outsmart him. So you are dealing with that kind of person, but still you find some of the achievements of dunya are lost, which the Ahlul Dunya consider to be achievements, but it's not achievement in the eyes of Imam Ali alayhi salam unless and until you do something which is in sync with the Sharia. So we find I would end my speech here, we find in the hadith of Imam Sadiq alayhi salatu wasalam that man kana aqilan kana lahu deen. Man kana aqilan kana lahu deen. Wa man kana lahu deen dakhala al-jannah. Whoever is aqil, aqil is defined in ilm al-akhlaq as the person who combines the ilm and amal both. He's called aqil, in very short words. So whoever is aqil, he will have a religion. And when you have a religion, you will go to the paradise. So now, at the end, Amir Mu'min alayhi salatu wasalam has said that sukrul ghaflati wal gharur ab'adu ifaqatan min sukrul khumur. So if a person gets drunk with the alcohols, the person who gets drunk with the drunkenness of gharur and deceptions of shaitan is farther away from becoming sober than a person who gets drunken by drinking the alcohols. They say if somebody drinks alcohol, nothing can make him sober. Even if you drip water over cold water on his face, it's not going to make him sober. Nothing can make a person sober except time. Isn't it right? That's what the scientists say. Only the time will make a person sober. So Imam Ali alayhi salam says that a person who gets drunk by the alcohols, how long does he take to become get relief from that? The person who gets drunken by the ghaflat and ghurur and deception is farther away from becoming out of that condition as compared to the one who gets drunk with the alcohols. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give all of us the tawfiq to understand and to follow the ma'arif of Quran and Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم انصر الإسلام والمسلمين واخذل الكفار والمنافقين. اللهم انصر من نصر الدين واخذل من خذل المسلمين. اللهم انصر واحفظ وأيد علماءنا الربانيين ومراجعنا الربانيين، لا سيما الولي الفقيه قائد المسلمين. اللهم انصر جيوش المسلمين وعساكر الموحدين. اللهم فك عن الأسراء المسلمين. اللهم وفقنا لما تحب وترضى، وعجل في فرج مولانا صاحب الزمان، واجعلنا من أنصاره وأشياعه وأتباعه وأعوانه بجاه محمد وآله الطاهرين. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.